by the way, highway, I am Anakanya Jimenez San, 16 from Ternana.
And from the land of all G's, my name is Evelyn Sierra from Ternana.
Yes, sir. And yes, sir, I am Roberto de los Santos.
And we are the Silver Squad! Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button below. Before we start, guys, sabi nung gusto ba niya outside?
Yeah, it's kinda hot outside, even if it's already been months.
Indeed, I noticed that the weather is changing, and I guess that's because of climate change.
Oh! Climate change! And for today's video, we're going to show you some tips and things to do on how to prevent climate change and how to save our Mother Earth. It can be pretty scary to think of all dangers of climate change. In the past, we learned together why we should care. But today, let's find out how to be proactive about this situation. One way to help is to drive less. We can, rather than using your own personal car, try to use a public transportation. If your destination is close enough, maybe you consider to walking or riding a bike. Carbon dioxide or CO2 is a major contributor to climate change, and vehicles are a large portion of the CO2 humanity produces. In fact, it's estimated that for every 2-mile car that you take, 2 pounds of carbon dioxide is put in the atmosphere. You can also help by recycling and reusing things when you can rather than throwing up all your gadgets and gizmos. See if you can find another use of them, or do have them from the charity if the product is still good. Recycling helps fight climate change because it takes less energy to make something from recycled products than starting from trash. Also consider buying things with a less packaging in the first place, or items that is use recyclable packaging. This next one might be a little scary to everyone who's ever taken to war for the aircon. But I challenge you to try you in home or in school to a little warmer in the summer and a little colder in the winter. Even if it's just a few degrees, moving the temperature in your aircon to up 2 degrees in the summer and down 2 degrees in the winter could eliminate an estimated 2,000 pounds of CO2 a year. And believe it or not, your diet can play a huge part in the climate change battle. Consider eating a less meat when you can, as the animal agriculture industry emits a large amount of greenhouse gases. The livestock sector, which includes things like feed production and transport, is responsible for around 40% of all the greenhouse gas machines around the globe. And I'm not necessarily saying you need to go vegetarian or vegan, but maybe try things like Meatless Mondays or pick a plant-based option for even just one meal when you couldn't have meat. Every little bit helps. I know that veggie salad looks scary, but you can do it. It should be noted, however, that it might not be as simple as all plants are better for environment than all meats when taking everything into account, such as the energy required to produce a food. Overall, though plant-based diet seems to be better for the fight against climate change than meat-based ones. Another thing you can do is to inspire others to join the fight against climate change. This can be as simple as talking to your friends and families about the issue or organizing groups and events in your local community. You can even contact the local officials to take action and to have policies that can lead into a healthier future. And think about this. If you lose your world, well then, I kinda lose mine too.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're back again and again and again and again and again! And for today's video, we're going to make another video. And for today's video, we're here, as you can see, at the Laguna Sports Complex. And aside from that, we're here to interview some students for a vlog entitled
How to prevent climate change and how to save our Mother Earth. So, what are you waiting for?
Let's Go!
So we interviewed random people to get their opinions as individuals on how to prevent climate change and how to save our Mother
How do
Earth.
you help to prevent climate change and also to save our Mother Earth?
So for that issue, I'm starting the preparation in our home itself, starting from home and starting from myself. Also, we're segregating our garbages, so we are separating the biodegradable from the non-biodegradable, and then there is a residual waste. So in order for us to use it, and then we are, what do you call this? Kasi we have a pickup truck schedule, so we are placing them on the roads, yeah, beside. So the garbage truck, they can pick up it easily. So second is by educating ourselves. So we are using the social media, that platform, in order for us to spread awareness, in order for us to read more of how we are going to contribute. So we are sharing those posts. Specifically, I like the page of Leonardo DiCaprio. So as far as I know, he is a philanthropist and he is also helping our environment. So I'm sharing his post in order for us to raise awareness of how we're going to fix, in order for us of how we are going to help our environment to sustain itself. So we have many questions.
Okay. Help to prevent climate change and also to save our Mother Earth.
My opinion is, if you want to help Mother Earth, you have to start disciplining yourself, and if you just discipline yourself, and you can discipline others, and if you do that, you can save Mother Earth, and you can do sorts of things like picking up garbage, sweeping the leaves, less biodegradable, and that's it. That's all my tips for.
How do you help to prevent climate change and also to save our Mother Earth?
For me, to be honest, you can save the earth by just simply, recycling your things in your. I mean, you can have project in your community, which is like how to avoid to burn some plastics. Yeah, that's all. That's it. Thank you.
How do you help to prevent climate change and also to save our Mother Earth?
So how can I help save the Mother Earth? So first recycling things and don't burn waste materials, and
How do you help to prevent climate change and also to save our Mother Earth?
We all know that climate change is a major problem of our environment. So how do we prevent it? So as a student, as a youth of our community, we need to clean our surroundings, and we should know the 3 R's, which is reuse, recycle, and reuse.
How do you help to prevent climate change and also to save our Mother Earth?
As a student, I can save our planet in creating a project such as reducing the production of CFCs in the atmosphere. Because too much reduction of CFCs will segregating waste materials, and
How do you help to prevent climate change and also to save our Mother Earth?
Recycling waste materials and avoiding burning plastics, and it will affect on the atmosphere.
So how do you help to prevent climate change and also to save our Mother Earth?
I think I help the environment by avoiding hazardous deeds such as burning plastics or other things that shouldn't be burned.
How do you help to prevent climate change and also to save our Mother Earth?
Okay, I can help to prevent climate change. I am from the sports surroundings, or I'm from environment sport. No, I can all my players. I always encourage them to have natural foods, to have if they go into training, they can sleep early. When they go into training, they have a complete rest in every day. So nowadays there's lots of gadgets. There's a lot of gadgets. So the problem for the kids, or for the players, they're always concentrating more in the gadgets. So to help the climate change, right? To help the environment, let's try to avoid less. I'm not saying to stop using gadgets. No? But I'm saying is, let's try to use the sports to lessen the usage of.
So now we're still here at the Laguna Sports Complex. And now, luckily, I am with someone. So, what is your name?
My name is Alejandro Escriba Jr.
How old are you?
13.
Okay, say hi. Say hi. Hi. Ayan. So now, Alejandro, I'm just going to ask you some questions about or related to the dilemmas of our mother. So, G, goods? Goods. So now, Alejandro, maybe you are aware of some issues about climate change. So, my question is, how do you help to prevent climate change?
Maybe planting trees, recycling, and save more place.
Oh.
Bye-bye!
Hi guys, I'm still here with Laguna Sports Complex and I am with someone.
Hi, good afternoon guys. My name's Alex, you know me, I'm one of your teachers.
Yeah.
So now, maybe you are aware for some about the that we're experiencing today. Here's my question to you, sir. How do you help to prevent climate change and also to save our mother?
So me as an individual or just ideas that we could do as a whole, as a group of people? Because as an individual, things you could do would be take public transit, walk more, use less plastic. But things we could do as a whole would be, instead of us as individuals doing those things, we encourage companies to stop producing plastic and use alternatives. We convince bus companies and others to use alternative fuels and the like. So there are a lot of ideas out there that we could do. Is it practical? I don't know. I have ideas for our school, so I would like to see some things change. I'd like to see students help me maybe organize some way to collect trash and recycle it, but it's just an idea I have. I don't know. Next year maybe, we'll see. But thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sir Alex.
Okay.
Now we already gave you some tips and things to do on how to prevent climate change and also to save our Mother Earth.
But before we end this video, we would like to summarize first those things for you to be able to remember. Number 1.
Drive less.
Use a public transportation rather than to use your own personal car. Or if you want to walk or ride a bike, that's also a good thing.
2.
Recycling things.
Do some separation of biodegradable and non-biodegradable things. Like the basic one is to reuse the plastic containers that you get.
Number 3.
Use paper bags rather than plastic bags.
We all know that using plastic bag doesn't help the environment, so why still use plastic?
Number 4.
Aircon thing.
If you want to have a good environment without any harmful chemicals or too much in carbon dioxide, you should adjust the temperature of the aircon depends on the weather.
Number 5.
Eat less meat and eat more vegetables.
Eating meat isn't bad for our health, but eating less meat helps the environment more. So, what are you waiting for? Let's go and eat more salad!
Number 6.
Inspire other people.
They say that sharing is caring, so we should share our thoughts and knowledge to others for them to be able to have an idea on how we can fight against climate change and also to save our Mother Earth.
That's all for today, and we hope that you enjoyed